Hi there, and welcome to the Able Assembly 2021 conference. Our presentation is entitled Disability Justice in University Theater Programs, and we are delighted to spend this time with you. My name is Amanda Masterpaul, and I am an artist, an activist, and an educator, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I am an adjunct professor of applied theater and women's and gender studies at Coastal Carolina University in Conway, South Carolina. I am also the faculty advisor for the Inclusive Theater Group at Coastal Carolina University. My work is dedicated to weaving social justice and anti-oppression techniques into theater making and collective action. I am a 39-year-old white female. I am wearing a bright yellow blouse with beaded hoop earrings. I have medium length blonde wavy hair and blue eyes. And I'm now going to turn it over to my colleague and partner, Carson.
Hi, my name is Carson Hebblethwaite. I'm a junior BFA acting major at Coastal Carolina University, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm one of the student leaders for Inclusive Theater Group at Coastal Carolina University, and I'm also a research fellow for the Edwards College of Fine Arts. I'm mentored by Amanda Masterpaul, who I'm presenting with today. I'm a 21-year-old white woman wearing a long sleeve green top with a white floral pattern, and I have long dark curly hair and green eyes. We lead Inclusive Theater Group, which is a program whose mission is to foster a safe, non-judgmental ensemble environment in which disabled, able-bodied, and neurodivergent community members and Coastal Carolina University theater students tap into their creative voices through theater. In addition, we believe everyone has the right to a creative voice, and that all of these creative voices are highly imaginative and essential to the arts. Our agenda for today is to introduce Inclusive Theater Group, speak to its cultural benefits, present implications with intersectionality, and to finally describe considerations and lessons from the field. We'll conclude with a reflection and questions for further thought.
Inclusive Theater Group has a network of roughly 30 community participants and college students. Members of Inclusive Theater Group meet once a week on Sunday nights. Each rehearsal follows a structured framework with ample space for play. So generally, each weekly rehearsal includes a check-in or temperature check, which is targeted at sustaining the social and emotional wellness of the participants through active listening, vulnerable sharing, and empathetic connection. After check-in, we move to having a dance party. Now, dance party is affectionately coined the best part of Inclusive Theater Group. During this time, community participants and/or facilitators, they select a piece of music where everyone is invited to move in a way that suits them at that time.
After dance party, student facilitator leaders guide participants in a physical and vocal warm-up. The warm-ups focus on spatial awareness and creative expression through specifically designed exercises, including breath work, range work, and mobility readiness. It's important to note that during each rehearsal, every participant has full permission to show up in their body as they see fit and to engage according to their self-determination. After warm-up, we collaborate in various applied theater games, improvisational exercises, and devised performance techniques. We also use rehearsal periods for developing the end of semester performance. This performance is a culmination of devised vignettes and storytelling pieces, which are written, directed, and performed by the community of participants. At the end of every rehearsal, we conclude with a spoken word ritual honoring the contributions of everyone in the space. These aspects illustrate programming tools which have proven to be impactful, affirming, and empowering for the community of participants within Inclusive Theater Group.
Now that the format of Inclusive Theater Group has been described, we'd like to share a collection of cultural benefits that we have identified through ethnographic and qualitative research. We used story circles, group interviews, and playmaking as a means of gathering this information. The cultural benefits noted illustrate three primary categories of findings: communal well-being, representation, and equitable opportunity.
Pictured here on our slide are two photographs of the members of Inclusive Theater Group. The photo on the left is all of us gathered together after rehearsal, and the photo on the right is all of us in the final number of our showcase performance in May of 2019. In a story circle, D, one of Inclusive Theater Group's community participants, said, "The best experience is making friends and family. I think that's important in life itself, really." Here, D is speaking to how Inclusive Theater Group builds communal well-being. Acceptance and belonging are huge forms of dignity and affirmation to those with disabilities, and in our group specifically, family and friendship is held with the highest value. Another participant, Betty, said, "Making friendships is really important to me. Tessa and I did a dance last year, and I really miss her a lot." Our participants' stories show that creating spaces of belonging and acceptance unifies diverse groups and allows differences to be seen as equal and valuable. There's real security and power in knowing that one adds value and is at home in a community. Along with prioritizing communal well-being, Inclusive Theater Group believes in the full representation of disabled and neurodivergent persons in theater, which is often limited and ignored in university theater programs. Amelia, another community participant, shared, "When I see someone who looks like me, or acts like me, or talks like me, I feel like I know now that there's somebody who's like me, somebody that I can compare to, I guess. Yeah, that's how I feel." As a collective, Inclusive Theater Group believes in reshaping and reshaping cultural messaging to challenge the normalized and dominant narratives of university theater settings. Betty explains further, "When you see someone that looks a lot like you treat them nice. For example, when you see someone who has Down syndrome like us, you treat them nice, and then you get to know them better." Amelia and Betty's stories both speak to how representation of disabled persons in neurodivergent communities can influence and educate our society's associations and perceptions of disability, leading to personal empowerment and widespread empathy. We also believe that it's vital to prioritize and reinforce equitable opportunity. We emphasize shared time and space amongst all members to offer creative ideas and provide constructive feedback to peers. In addition, we value time taken for initiating conversation and critical reflection. Allowing Inclusive Theater Group members to engage in these collaborative and creative actions in a way that provides time and space for all broadens their socialization skills and cultivates self-determining confidence. Integrating Inclusive Theater Group into the practice of a college theater program as a way to prioritize equitable opportunity can also support universal design. If we create an environment where we are supportive, inclusive, and integrative for the benefit of the most marginalized among us, we will naturally benefit everyone in the space, which means that when we create and develop education programs, build a theater space, or cast a production at a university, we should automatically create them to be accessible and usable to bodies and minds of all ranges of ability. Caitlin Ray, who is studying composition and rhetoric at the University of Louisville, focusing specifically on disability studies and medical rhetoric, addresses this concept in her article On Your Feet by discussing the from the start concept. This refers to the idea that our program should be designed for people of all abilities from the start, instead of accommodating or retrofitting them after they've been designed for able bodies. Inclusive Theater Group acts as a step in the right direction towards universal design for university theater departments.
In respect to this conversation, it is important to note that we center how disability is situated within a social matrix of domination, intersecting with racism, sexism, heteropatriarchy, ableism, classism, and more. The social model of disability speaks to identifying barriers and restrictions within practices, policies, spaces, and places which deny disabled persons from living their full and whole lives. When combining intersectionality with disability justice, we center how race, citizenship, class, sexuality, or gender are deeply impacted and experienced within the social model of disability. As community participants within Inclusive Theater Group, those with disabilities and neurodivergence are experiencing the materialized conditions of racist, sexist, ableist, and classist oppressive culture on a daily basis. So it really is vital that programming not replicate these systems of domination. Inclusive Theater Group consciously uses shared language as a means of fostering inclusivity. We don't render differences as invisible, rather differences are an asset to our collective. We educate students on how to resist infantilizing or patronizing participants. All programming, events, and performances are readily accessible and free admission to all. Our weekly check-ins at the top of each rehearsal allow for a development of interdependence, which is built through reflection, community building, and collective knowledge making. Specific to 2020, we moved our programming online, which aided the group's overall welfare and actually enhanced their involvement, their independence, their visibility, and their collaboration. College theater programs are historically exclusionary, discriminatory, and often systemically ableist. Inaccessibility and invisibility of disabled artists is pervasive and widespread among university theater programs. Integrating Inclusive Theater Group into the programming of Coastal Carolina University's Department of Theater is a step towards equalizing creative and innovative opportunity for people with disabilities and neurodivergence. However, there are considerations to be noted in order to yield results. Academic institutions need to financially invest in these programs as an asset to their departmental functioning. University theater departments should offer their reputation, their capital through their reputation in supporting programs such as Inclusive Theater Group. If these programs are not fiscally supported, or they are almost relegated to an arm of the department, it further marginalizes an already stigmatized community and reinforces systemic inequity. University theater departments should consider contribution by disabled and neurodivergent persons as fundamental when creating outreach and educational programming and making theatrical content accessible for diverse persons, and in supporting the conscious casting and representation of people with disabilities for a production at a university.
So based on what we've learned, we'd like to offer a couple final considerations and lessons from the field. First, members of Inclusive Theater Group are passionate about the idea of producing a full scripted production, in addition to our co-devised vignettes and storytelling pieces. This is where funding from the university would really be essential. We would need support from the department to secure rights for shows, as well as time and space needed for rehearsal. We also recognize that we do not have a leader or facilitator in Inclusive Theater Group that is fluent in American Sign Language. This would be an important step in the direction of becoming fully inclusive of deaf communities and to fully practice universal design. With those specific lessons from the field in mind, we think it's important for all university theater programs to integrate an Inclusive Theater Group or something similar into their practice, because there is clearly tangible value in disabled and non-disabled actors co-creating their stories as performative acts together.
And as we come to the end of our session, we would like to offer a few questions to reflect upon. So question number one, how might academic institutions integrate a model such as Inclusive Theater Group on their campuses? And question number 2, what barriers stand in the way of intersectional disability justice on college campuses, and specifically within theater departments? And question number 3, where are the opportunities for university theater departments to prioritize funding for disability inclusive programming and performances?
And with that, we thank you so much for joining us. We'd love to end our session by inviting you to have a dance party with us so that you can experience a little bit of the joy we feel at Inclusive Theater Group each week. Amanda and I will turn off our cameras, and we invite you to feel inspired by this piece of music. It's a fan favorite at Inclusive Theater Group. And we also invite you to move freely, however feels right for you and your body in this moment.
My mama told me when I was young, we're all born superstars. She rolled my hair, put my lipstick on, in a glass of purple dry. There's nothing wrong with loving who you are, she said, 'cause he made you perfect, babe. So hold your head up, girl, and you'll go far. Listen to me when I say I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause I make no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't hurt yourself and regret, just love yourself instead. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. There ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Baby, I was born this way. There ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Give yourself prudence and love your friends. Subway kid, rejoice your truth. In the religion of the insecure, I must be myself, respect my youth. A different law is not a sin. Believe capital H-I-M. Hey, I love my life, I love this record, and me, I'm on it, roll it, yes. I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause I make no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't hurt yourself and regret, just love yourself instead. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Oh, there ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Baby, I was born this way, born this way. There ain't no other way, baby, I was born on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Whether you're broke or evergreen, you're black, white, beige, chola descent, you're Lebanese, you're Orient. Whether life's disabilities left you outcast but leader teased, rejoice and love yourself today, 'cause baby, you were born this way. No matter gay, straight or bi, lesbian, transgender life, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born to survive. No matter black, white or beige, chola or Orient made, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born to be brave. I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause I make no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't hurt yourself and regret, just love yourself instead. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way, yeah. Oh, there ain't no other way, this way.
So we just want to end our session and just say thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.